What's going on, guys? Samuel Reviews here, and welcome to my official spoiler-free review for Avengers Endgame again. There will be a spoiler warning. I'm giving full details on Endgame. You have been warned. Now, before we begin, I do apologize for both of you being very late, honestly. I'm being good, but I guess I've been part of work and other stuff, but I finally do my spoiler review on Endgame. And I really wanted to see the film a second time before I give my full official thoughts on the movie. Honestly, it's one of the cases where I need to see a second time before I give my full spoiler thoughts, and now that I see a second time, and honestly, to see a second time, I am so happy I did. Like, there's still a lot to digest and discuss about Avengers Endgame. Again, the second time, this is definitely officially my new favorite film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's a very emotional, touching, and grounded, and just one of the most real film that the Marvel movies have ever done. And I'm based on the top of all the stuff that happens in the movie and what I love about them and everything that happens in the movie. So, hope you all enjoy. Man, there's really a lot to discuss in this movie. I guess I'm discussing with the opening scene of the movie. This movie gets me emotional from the opening scene alone. It's where we see Hawkeye having fun with his family, and it's just fun, relaxing, and then his family gets dusted. It brings all emotion from the opening scene alone. That's all emotion the film's gonna get. From the opening scene alone. From the opening scene, I'm sorry I said it, but the film can get so much emotion from you, especially when Hawkeye's finished his fans, you know how much his fan meant to him. You see that's why that's gonna happen, honestly. I know I'm gonna see some of Hawkeye, but it doesn't make any less impactful. And of course, we see Iron Man and Nebula playing a little bit paper football, then Iron Man giving him Mr. Pepper, and then a little oxygen, then Captain Marvel comes and saves them, goes the ship, and brings it down. Down to everybody, where Pepper and Tony reunite. Tony is so upset at the end of Blue Spider-Man, and from the first 20 minutes, it takes place 21 or 22 days after the events of Infinity War, after they snapped pretty much half the universe out of existence. And everybody's still grieving over it and still trying to figure out what Thanos is. Whether we did get some very touching and real moments with these characters, and you get this funny moment when it's time to really heist his brother. I'm pretty sure I thought you would be able to be him. That made me laugh so friggin' hard. Then you see Tony still feel very upset about everything, especially the cast members. Where were you when he still very just hurts and all that? And you can definitely see it. It's not even alone, but this is definitely inspired by Junior's best friend. He keeps upping himself. They think about Robert Jr. is that he keeps upping himself up in every movie. Mainly in terms of performance, and in terms of performance, he keeps upping himself up in terms of emotion, in terms of performance. He really ups the emotion so amazingly. And I doubt this is going to happen, but part of me really does want Robert Downey Jr. to get a Best Actor nomination, honestly, because Black Panther conviction, so hopefully these movies can get more recognition, but really, Robert Downey Jr. deserves a nomination. Oh my god, he's one of my favorite performances of the year, and that scene alone be so much why. And then we're all trying to figure out Thanos lives, and has them all trying to I'm gonna go kill Thanos and all that, and then go to get a scene with Thor, snaps hammer, and it's I like this one. Then, and then the house being and then they all go to planets. But it's very desolated, there's no armies or anything, and Thanos is just farming and all that, and everybody just breaks down on him. They got Thanos already, it's almost 20 minutes in. That's kind of surprising actually, but that's interesting. That is interesting. And then Rocket sees the golems no, well, the stones are gone, and he's basically used the stone to destroy the stones. So it was no, really, well, no. My god. Like, I really expected that to happen in the first 10 freaking minutes alone, 20 minutes alone. They're down saying, I am inevitable, and Munchkin is like, I mean, you're fine, like, that's be lying. They was like, I've heard many things. Lying is not one of them. Like, thank you, Dora. Perhaps I treated you unfair. And then Dora's like, flop! And then Dora's like, I went for the head. Like, that's for the first 20 minutes alone, and I was actually kind of surprised by that they decided to kill Thanos in the first 20 minutes. Especially a movie that's freaking 3 hours freaking long. That's really surprising, actually. And then it shows 5 years later. I was like, damn! Then we see into Captain America reading this like the support group and it's how jump on, they try to like let go and all that. Go into the past and all that, where he's himself, so. But and after that, we see a show where the quantum thing just and Ant-Man pops out. It had to be like stuck in the quantum. Had to be like stuck in the quantum realm after since Hope, Hank and they disappeared. And they want to try to figure out what happened. Then of course he sees the stats, the big things of all the names are being vanished, and it's like, no, please don't Cassie, please don't. And then he sees his name like Scott Lang, so he like runs over, and then he's into their house and he knocks and he sees his daughter Cassie. Look, Cassie grown up, like, and then the face that's definitely a sense of emotion. Then we had the scene like involving Captain Marvel, War Machine, like Green, and Rocky and holograms on Black Widow, and that's also War Machine about Hawkeye, is assuming talking about, and then Scarlet Witch and Black Widow ends up like that is a emotion. This definitely Scarlet Witch's best role as the character, and it talks about like how the Avengers are like claiming to her now. She didn't have anything until joined the Avengers, which is pretty touching, and this kind of long gets Black Widow so much more depth. And of course, after the scene, Emmett like, hey, Cal, you met me 3 years ago. It's like, and then it's just that he was in the quantum realm for 5 years, but to him, it was 5 hours. So basically, what they're doing here is time travel, which is like, time travel. What? Interesting. Interesting. And then they try to discuss Tony Stark, who actually has a daughter. It's like, oh, Tony's a daughter. And she is so adorable. I'll definitely get a little more into her a little bit later, but man, she's just adorable, and she has great scenes with Tony, and you really buy into them. Again, I'll touch a little on that a little bit. And Tony's like, no, I can't, Tony's like, no, I can't, because he's the one to lose his daughter, honestly, which, how you feel in the scene alone kind of makes sense. Kind of makes sense. So then I'm going to the next one, guy, Hulk, who's definitely a little different. He's basically half Banner. He has the brains of Banner, but the body of Hulk. Yeah, that's definitely one of two things in the movie that's gotten heavily criticized for. And honestly, I don't get it. I think everything the Hulk has been through, it really makes sense. I mean, it's a very hard and risky direction, but it's definitely interesting when it kind of makes, in a way, makes sense for how the character has been through in previous movies, especially in Infinity War. So, definitely an odd direction, but I'm very proud of Mark Ruffalo. Still great in the role. Hulk has some great, hilarious moments. Definitely still a great portrayal of the character, and definitely one that's very out there, and I didn't mind the portrayal of the Hulk here. And of course, discussing the time travel stuff and all that. And Tony ended up figuring out the time travel. I was like, shit. And then I was like, shit. Like, and then there's a double scene where he was sometimes like, Tony's like, I'll be tons. And then one's like, I love you 3000. I'm like, oh. Which is something that pretty much everybody has said about the movie, and it really can't see why. And I'm sorry to say my family, I love you 3000. It's just an adorable line, and it's definitely something that everybody's going to say after seeing this movie. I mean, she has a little discussion with Pepper about it, and of course, and at the hilarious time travel scene where Ant-Man ends up turning into a teen, then an old man, then a baby, and then himself where he's like I'm wet. I think it might have been the old man, the baby, or me. Like, oh, it's hilarious. And this is where Tony ends like kind of bad. It's like, let me guess, he turned himself to a baby. And then they go to get members of the team where we see Hulk and Rocket go to New Asgard. Go to get a little bit from Valkyrie, but better like Tessa Thompson. And then we see Thor as basically a like basically a drunk basically one time basically just drunk and has a big beer belly. Yeah, basically that's like yeah, but again, another thing that's been criticized for, and again, it's one I also look at because this is one case where it actually does make sense. I mean, have you seen all the stuff that boy has been through in the last few movies? Especially Ragnarok and Infinity War, especially reading any of the movies, so everything that he's been through, it really makes sense that Thor basically just depressed and sad and kind of like drunk and all that. Like they do get some good humor him being drunk and all that and being like kind of an ass, but I think he did a great job of balancing him being like a drunk and having some great humor out of it, and him being sad and emotional about it. But I mean, there was like there's a nice moment where Korg is playing Fortnite, and then Thor ends up yelling at that person that's playing it. Mahal says, it's like, don't you mention that name! And then we get this crazy scene of all Hawkeye being a vigilante, which is been called Ronin, apparently, which is basically called Ronin. I don't know if he's called Ronin here, but whatever. Whatever, and then we see Black, then come get her, and it's like, don't what? Don't give me hope. Like, that was, man. Yeah, one thing I appreciate about the beginning of the movie, at least the first hour, is how, basically, it is definitely a slow start, and it's definitely very somber, but it's all that in the best possible ways. But it really hints a lot of the indications of what happened during the snap, and it really makes you feel a lot for these characters, and again, this shows that this movie is a lot more real and human than most of the other Marvel movies, so I'll give him props on that, to actually make it feel a lot of human emotion for these characters. I've grown to love throughout the movies. And after Hawkeye attempts to see time travel, basically every different teams go to the time travel where they have one chance to get all the 6 Infinity Stones, so they can try to do enough stuff and revive everybody, which, again, time travel is definitely a very risky thing, and sometimes it could end up retconning or complicate a lot of stuff, honestly. I mean, this one is a bit complicated, time travel, but it's not like too complicated. And I'm just thinking might pick up some like plot holes and inconsistencies, but then again, what time problems I have that, honestly, but I don't think there weren't that many inconsistent plot holes, honestly, that really bugged me, honestly, and if there are any, I'm sure that, and there are any, I'm sure there are, and if there are any, I'm sure, but I think the movie does end up explaining that, which is still, I think the movie does end up explaining at some point, so we actually pay attention, so that's definitely impressive. Again, it's definitely complicated, but not like too complicated, so it's basically a team of Ant-Man, Captain America, and Iron Man going to the moment in the Avengers to try to get us. Yeah, we see Scott Lang, Captain America, and Iron Man go to the Space Stone. So we also get to the latest line involving America's, and it says that's America's ass, which is hilarious. There's one when Captain America saying with these agents, this is before the angel was actually a Hydra, like a Winter Soldier, and we get to awesome moment where Cap says, "Hail Hydra," and it's like, then he leaves the briefcase. And does his best on bad ends, so Hulk and how to take on the stairs, he ends up losing it to 2012 Loki. Which kind of hints at the Loki TV series they're doing, which I'm still interested in, so can't complain. So basically, Roger Stark travels to Chief headquarters in 1970, both by visiting an earlier version of Space Zone will encounters a young version of his father. fast forward and they have a little bit of conversation and explaining, you know, how it is and everything else and all that. It's definitely interesting. It's also is one by involving Captain America finding his older self, finding his 2012 self, and then found by ends but kept saying like, that is America's ass. Like, I love that line. But it's interesting to see Tony and Howard end up exchanging stuff and talking about, you know, Howard doesn't really know who he was, which makes saying that Howard stuff was kind of like a huge part of Tony Stark's character. It's definitely pretty touching. And Chrissy Rogers ends up seeing 7 Pym particles from Hank Pym, so they return to present and get the scene where he ends up going to Peggy's office and sees her, and I'll talk more than that later. And then we see Ben trying to touch to the Ancient One, and convinces her to get a time stone, where he promises they will return it after it admits her that Strange ended up getting a type stone back in the Infinity War. And also, it's good to see the Ancient One again here. And then we see Rocket and Thor traveling to Asgard to see the reality to Jane Foster, and she's definitely in the scenes that she's actually in. Actually, the scenes that she's actually in actually bleed scenes from Thor Dark World, so that's what makes sense, honestly. Kind of not important that she was done in Marvel after what happened in Thor Dark World. And Thor ends up having an emotional talk with her mom, and he ends up dreaming his hammer, and he ends up escaping. And then we see Nebula and Rhodes travel to 2014 and steal the Power Stone for Pure Quill, where it's this funny scene because we get to go and get your love. Go and get your love. And then we see Nebula and Temple watching the random music, then they knock him out. And then Robin's turn, but Nebula is incapacitated for her 2014 self. And through the actual 2014 Thanos learns of his success, especially being killed and him using the snap. And they do it, and then Thor and Campus turns and says, pass Nebula to the present in a woman's place. And lastly, this is where the true emotion really begins. As where Black Widow and Jeremy and Hawkeye travel to Vormir, where they do the Red Skull, and of course, you know what happened in Infinity War, they must sacrifice. Like, no, don't tell me one of you are going to die! And after a long struggle, and it ended up being Black Widow, which was definitely very surprising. That's more because from how it was looking, it looked like it was going to be Hawkeye. Yeah, it kind of like it was going to be Hawkeye for a second, honestly, but it's so sad that Black Widow ended up dying, and the worst thing is that this death isn't reversible. This death isn't like something that could just be like undone just like that. Then they even confusion about that. It's like, it can be undone, right? It can be undone. It can't be undone. Like, just wow. It was definitely a very emotional one, especially the music that was playing and Hawkeye's reaction to it, and everybody else's reactions. Just, it's pretty touching. It's pretty emotional, and it definitely was about to cry in that scene. Especially after all that Black Widow does. So, I guess that means that Black Widow movie definitely has to be a prequel to this. Part of me wishes they'd done Black Widow movie a lot earlier. And then we've seen the present where the Avengers are able to fit Stone into some ground where Banner uses it, then and while doing that, past Nebula uses the time machine to transport past Thanos, and once to the present where and this is what the last hour of the film begins, and like I say in my review, the last hour of this movie is probably, the third act in general, is basically probably the best third act I've seen, one of the best third acts I've probably seen in any movie ever. Not just superhero movies, but, like, I thought I wasn't sure if it was the whole time, but seriously, they packed some true amazement here. And then we see like, everybody trying to escape, like Hawkeye trying to save these other creatures, and we see the President Nebula trying to convince Gamora, 2014 Gamora, to turn on Thanos, and they end up killing her past self. They do end up killing her past self at some point. And then we see like Thor, Captain America, and start trying to fight Thanos. Thanos like beat him up. And then we get this one basically this one nerdgasm moment that probably calls itself out how amazing the act is. Probably if like huge big fan, comic book fan of like, holy shit. Like I'm sorry to use that language, but man. Now, the first we see like Thanos doing Stormbreaker and about to then Thor Thanos just jumped in and then Captain America grabs it. Like, oh, like I can't imagine by not having anybody on that moment. Both that moment was kind of hinted at Angel Ultron, you know, Thor was close to getting the hammer, or at least like bunged it. But him just, for him, I was like, oh my god, and was still like, I knew it. And of course they keep fighting him, bring down, and a lot of us fighting them. We see Thanos like summon his army. It's like, oh my god, and then we see Captain America, his shield almost broken. Like, Steve? And he was like, Steve? Steve's like, then we see that Falcon, then Strange open, then we see a portal open, then we see more portals open. First we see Black Panther, Shuri and Noka coming, then we see Doctor Strange with the Guardians, then we see Spider-Man, then we see pretty much like every MCU character, like nearly every MCU character and every fallen Avenger, like, oh my god, we're going back, we're going back. You know, we even see Pepper Potts in an Iron Man suit. That's pretty cool as well. Like pretty much like nearly every character in the entire MCU. Is that really? Like, you wanted more? Like every character is here. Portal and like, I remember being like, so, oh my god, this is really awesome. Also, of course, in Captain America saying, Avengers! Assemble. And then we see the music. Then was the other like everybody, like it's like pretty much every fallen Avenger character again, every time to shine, like everybody's just. So then we get some pretty great moments, like we see Tony Stark and Spider-Man, him giving like a big hug. Then we see Stallone think more, like more. Then we see the name Gamora, like oh. When you talk about that the time that happened in the first movie, and Gamora was like, this is him? Seriously? And then it was like for him. Or a tree. Like, then of course we get him also Bucky, the other Guardians. And of course we see Wasp back, that's pretty great, and see him work on the time machine. Everything we see, so I wish just you took everything life away. I don't remember you. You will. There's that like, and then it just pew pew. And then Captain Marvel comes in. Also, then we get a lot of great memorable action set pieces. Every character giving time to shine. Everything about this is just awesome. And Thanos is once again great. He does kind of his 2014 self, but it is truly awesome as hell. Comes hell, and them trying to hand him King of Stones, and then Tony, but isn't, and then Thanos like grabbing them, then Tony grabs them. And it's like, I am inanimate. Then, like, it might be intense and saying, like, oh my god. And then, and then, Tony's like, I am Iron Man. And basically all his minions just turn to dust, including Thanos. Now going to Endgame, I have no idea what they're going to do with Captain America and Iron Man. Like considering that from this last movie, I knew like one or two were going to retire, or one or two were going, or one or both of them were going to die. In this case, Tony Stark dies, and it still makes left any less emotional, especially when Tony's like, Tony? Mr. Stark? It's me, we did it! And Team Pepper just calm and just, it's like Pepper kind of knew this was coming, why she actually wasn't upset or freaking out. So, that's the thing interesting on Pepper Potts. It's also Pepper Potts' also we talking about the last role, and this is definitely the best I've seen Pepper, honestly. Probably the best I've seen in their relationship in general. Like, it's just, like, it's so sad just to think about. This is the last we're going to see of Tony Stark, and he died, and the funeral's sad, the message he gave to his families, everybody else is sad. Basically everybody's happy reunited. Peter's reunited with Ned, who's still kind of the same age as him, you know, the 5 years later, which is that he and his friends must have been dusted. I mean, that has to be the only explanation. And at Stark's funeral, we see Thor appoint Valkyrie as new Asgard, as he thankfully ends up joining the Guardians of the Galaxy, which is something like I think pretty much all of us members are wanting since Thor Ragnarok. And the Thor talking about the Guardians movie, and he did a great job interacting with the Guardians in Infinity War. So I think all of us really wanted this, and so it means Thor is gonna be the next Guardians movie, which is freaking awesome. And I guess the next movie is gonna be his Falcon search for 2014 Gamora. So at least I think some of the devs like some deaths are still permanent, like, you know, Loki 73's he's technically still dead, the Vision's technically still dead, Gamora technically is, and yes, so yeah, can probably at least keep true on some deaths, so that's good. And then we see Rogers, then we see Captain America end up turning the Infinity Stones to their original places, like, and then when he then returned for like 5 minutes, it's because he decided to live in the past and live his life with Peggy Carter, his true love. And then we see Captain America as an old man. An old man. Man, and then he ends up giving his shield to Falcon. Now, I know he's probably ended up giving the shield to either Falcon or Bucky. Honestly, I wouldn't have been fine with it either way. I mean, your character, so I'm still happy that Falcon's going to be Captain America, and that's kind of simple. Also, the TV series he's happening with Winter Soldier on this. Also, along the low-key and Ewan's Got a Witch on Hawkeye on this Disney Plus thing. It's coming in November, and honestly, I'm excited for all of them, honestly. And the movie ends with Captain America and Peggy finally getting the dance that they always wanted. Like, when I saw that, I was like, oh my god! Like, I think I nearly cried at that scene. I think I did cry at that scene when I first saw it, and I still was emotional the second time. It's truly emotional, and it's definitely a true payoff to everything Captain America has been through. Like, the biggest thing about Endgame is that it pretty much satisfies pretty much closes off a lot of the known arcs that pretty much all the characters known for, while also setting up some tiny little stuff in the future. And that's why, and I think this movie doesn't have any like post-credit scenes, so because you don't really know what's going to happen to do with the MCU after this movie. And personally, I can't think of something any issues I found in this movie, honestly. Like, even time travel stuff doesn't bother me, honestly. Even like small tiny stuff. Like, I know it's been kind of been about Thor and stuff. I know something else about Captain America having a small role, but I think it was definitely necessary for Captain America to have this role, honestly. And even she still stands out, honestly, especially when she's just so. I'm still interested to see what they do with Captain America in future movies. I'm sure she's going to be in a lot of future movies. And of course, I know next movie we'll get Spider-Man Far From Home, and I think we'll get the Black Widow people, which now, after Black Widow dying, it seems like too little too late, honestly. I wish they would have that movie a long time ago, honestly, now that she's gone. And I know we're getting a Guardians movie, so honestly, I really don't know what's going to happen, or what they're going to do in the Marvel Cinematic Universe after this, but honestly, I think that's a good thing, honestly, because then you don't know what is going to happen. Actually, I do have one problem with this movie, and it's nothing against the movie, it's just considering the emotional high that movie brings, and the huge stakes, and the huge epicness, and the huge scope, and this movie could spread a lot to Return the King in terms of scope, and again, still all I mentioned, there really isn't obviously why. My only issue is that I can't see any other MCU movie topping this. I'm sure they're gonna try, But I don't think any other MC movie really topping this in terms of its epicness and skates, but its epicness and stakes. That's what I meant to say. It depends on that. I can't see any movie, especially to the blockbusters, really the MCU really topping this for me. Oh, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who thinks that, but man, I can't see any movie trying to top this honestly. But Endgame is still an emotional roller coaster. Again, it's going to take a lot for this film to, it's going to take a lot for this film to be not my number one best of 2019. It's definitely my favorite MCU movie now, one of my favorite superheroes of all time, and maybe one of my favorite films of all time. It's amazing, honestly. Not even some of my favorite MCU movies on my favorites. I mean, they're nothing close, but again, I didn't really figure out an all-time favorite list, films, honestly, but Endgame might end up being on that list. It's that amazing. And despite his 3 hours, the pacing is perfect. I don't know why I definitely felt on it. Yeah. And apparently it's the last film that the Russo brothers do, and they thankfully ran out with a bang. Again, I don't know what the MC is going to do, but it's like that I am still going to be there day one. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed my spoiler review. Endgame, again, my apologies if you end up being late, but again, not saying life or whatever, but I certainly will enjoy this review, and so let me know if you let me know what thoughts on any comments down below, and let me know if you how would you rank this movie in the MCU. So let me know in the comments down below. I have a lovely community very snoopy on that. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I honestly truly appreciate it. If you haven't, be sure to like this video, be sure to share, be sure to subscribe, be sure to follow all my social media sites, all in the description down below. I am Worldreviews. I'll see you next time. As always, stay cool out, but peace.